Alright, so when we last left off, Cassio just shown up to say that the Duke wants to see you. So he says, alright, we got to get going. I'm not exactly sure what it's about, but it has something to do with Cyprus. So then Othello says that I got to go in here, I'll be out in a second. And it leaves us with Iago and with Cassio alone. And there's a couple little bitty things to see. First off, ancient, what makes he here? Faith he tonight had boarded a land carrack. If it prove lawful prives, he's made forever. I do not understand. He's married. So it's he's joking with him. He's pulling his leg a little bit, and just kind of this little section like here. Faith he had tonight boarded a land carrack. If it prove lawful prive, he's made forever. That he's boarded some ship. That he will be made forever. That he will be married forever. But what's important is that Cassio doesn't know. You know, here we've been having this conversation where Iago's upset because Cassio's gotten, some sort of better deal with Othello, but Cassio doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know that he's been married, but Iago does. So it says something about the personal relationship between Iago and Othello immediately, and that there's more of a business relationship between Cassio and Othello. And then immediately after comes Brabantio. He comes in, they're all pulling out their swords. Brabantio is saying, down with them, thief. And notice Iago, you, Rodrigo, come, sir, I am for you. So I would assume that that's like, if I fight this dude and we both don't try to kill each other, then we're going to survive. But there's a darker meaning. What if Othello kills Brabantio, or Brabantio kills Othello? Why would Iago want Rodrigo to be around? So there's a possibility. One is that they're playing along, both of them, so they both don't get hurt. The other one is it's Iago making sure that at the end of this fight, Rodrigo don't exist no more. Now that's a guess. I don't know. We don't have that moment. Because what happens is Othello says, keep up your bright swords, for the dew will rust them. Good signor, you shall command with years. You shall more command with years than with your weapons. Your command should come from your respect, from your sense of who you are, not from your swords. And I love that line, keep up your bright swords, for the dew will rust them. It seems to suggest that Othello doesn't have his swords out. That he's basically saying, put your swords away before the very rust gets them. And then Brabantio has a rather long line. For thou, O thou foul thief, where hast thou stowed away my daughter? Damned as thou art, thou hast enchanted her. So this idea of, if she in chains of magic were not bound, that there's no way she could have gone to him without some sense of magic, that he has magic over her. It also says something about him as an outsider, that he is a man of magic in this guy's mind, that somehow this guy can control people, that he can weaken people, that he can move them. It says a lot about his thoughts on who Othello is, and it says a lot about Brabantio. And so here's his response: hold your hands, both you of my inclining and the rest. Were it my cue to fight, I should have known it without a prompter. I love that line. I love this idea of, if I need to fight someone, I don't need you guys to tell me. I will know. It's a kind of a statement to Iago and to Cassio. Anybody who's trying to get him into a fight, I know when I need to fight. I know when I don't need to fight. And this is an answer. This is a moment where I don't need to fight. And this is what he says. Where will you go? Where will you that I go to answer this charge? The guy says, to prison and blah, blah, blah. And, in the end, basically somebody comes in and says, look, the council wants us. You're going to have to delay all this stuff. But I like the fact that Othello is he's being very willing and reasonable here. He's trying to work with Brabantio. And so that's really the end of the scene, as they decide to go to the Duke's place and to be there for him and to let the Duke, figure out what to do next. And that's Act 1, Scene 2. Pretty simple.